scholars, welcome back to writing. We are now on day 54 of writing. Now, just to activate prior knowledge, yesterday you were supposed to create a book cover, the front cover, the back cover, and an author's dedication page. So hopefully you all did that and watched the video and learned how to do that close. Okay, before we go into our mini lesson, you know Ms. Kitchens loves to go over the student learning outcomes. I will use strategies to write strong leads by studying mentored texts and imitating them. So like before, we used to read books to see how the authors start their stories so that we can imitate them. So you'll be doing that same thing in this lesson. I will use tools and techniques to insert materials into different places of a draft of a writing piece, revised using visualizations. So when you are visualizing what's actually going to take place in your writing, it's so much easier to get down what you want to say because you see it in your mind, you can definitely get it down on paper. I will reflect on past work and what I have learned in order to make plans to move forward in my writing. I will find misspelled words. Okay, these are all of the learning outcomes for today. Okay, we're going to be practicing strong leads and imitating them from a book. We're going to be drafting a writing piece and revising it using our own pictures in our minds. And we're just going to keep reflecting on some of the routines that we already know to use in writing while we are trying to find misspelled words throughout our revisions. Here are the Common Core standards for this unit. We have another one that is added just to this lesson. It says, kindergartners use a combination of drawing, dictating, and writing to narrate a single event or several loosely linked events, tell about the events in the order in which they occurred, and provide a reaction to what happened. Kindergartners, with guidance and support from adults, respond to questions and suggestions from peers and add details to the strength writing as needed. Here are the writing materials that you are going to need for today. Of course, you need your writing paper, right? So you're starting a whole new paper on your narrative piece, right? And you're just going to focus on writing at least 2 to 3 sentences of a strong lead, right? Your lead is how you're going to hook your readers into wanting to read more about your story. Going to need a pencil or some pencils just in case your pencil breaks. The anchor charts that I will upload onto Google Classroom with this assignment. Don't worry about your pre-made books because you're actually starting a brand new lead today. What super writers do? Well, we already know the process that we need to take when we are trying to write something that is going to be very engaging to our readers. So we need to think about what we want to write, okay? Then we automatically find what we're going to write in our minds. Sometimes before I write, I like to close my eyes and think of all the beautiful things I want to put down on the paper, all of the details of my story, whether it's a good story, whether it's a bad story. I want to make sure that my readers understand that whatever I see in my head and what took place in the story when it happened, I want to also make sure that it's happening on my paper too, okay? So then you draw it out. You have a little pencil here is drawing the page. You label it. And then you start writing those beautiful words down. Okay? Using all of those strategies you already know. And you add details to it by making it more vibrant with color and words, making sure that you have a capital letter at the beginning and lowercase letters within your sentence and your punctuation mark. All those beautiful strategies we've been learning throughout writing, that's how you add detail. You always want to make those pictures nice and fancy, right? Like we said, you want to make sure that when you are making your pictures, you want to have your labels for your readers so they could be like, oh, wow, this author, they not only drew a nice picture, they actually was telling me through their words what is taking. Okay, and this is just an anchor chart on how to draw people. Okay, ways to add words to your stories, right? Your pictures. You can do speech bubbles, right? I love kindergarten, right? This little cat is saying here, okay, to show that your characters are communicating to you through your writing, okay? Here's, you can add labels. We already spoke about that. You can add a title to them, right? And add a sentence. The pigeon likes hot dogs, okay? Always add words to your pictures. It is definitely an A+. Here is a student writing example. As you see, the student did a great job using colors, using shapes. Looks like they have a circle here, they have a square, right? A rectangle to draw their pictures. They use what they know to get their picture down. However, I don't see any labels, so this will not be considered an A+ paper. However, they definitely did a great job with picture and details in their words. So they said, I went to the farm. I got to milk a cow. It was so much fun. So they talked about who, what, where, why, and how, right? Yes, that is definitely important in your writing. Also, here's some questions you can ask yourself when you're doing your writing pieces. Okay, how do I add important detail? Well, we know that you got to do them labels. Get those labels out on them pictures, and your pictures would be as pop and vibrant as it needs to be for your readers to want to read more of your books. Okay, how do I know that it is an important detail? How do you know that it's an important detail to your story? Well, you know that because when you were closing your eyes and you were visualizing what it was that was happening in your story, you've seen that very important detail and you say, you know what? If I see that in my mind, it definitely needs to be on my page. How did that book make me want to read more? Think about your past books that you've been reading and thinking about what some authors were doing that made you want to read more of the book. Okay? How can I make my story more interesting to read? These are questions you should always ask yourself. As writers, we always have to ask ourselves questions. Okay? This is how we're going to know that we're getting at least trying our best to hit each and every corner that we need to hit for our writing to be super engaging, because the main thing we want is for our readers to read our stories over and over again. How can I be successful in today's writing? Your mission today is to look at the beginning of your story and make it really interesting for the reader. You want them to want to read your story. Think of what we talked about and make your beginning really exciting. 3 sentences, okay? 3 sentences of something that's so strong and hooky that is going to make your reader say, I am always going to read this author's book because it is like the best book in the whole entire world. I'm going to always read their books because they work super hard to make sure that they use all of the strategies that they've learned in kindergarten. And I just think it is the best thing in the whole world. Okay? Here's the student criteria for success. I will begin a new piece of writing. I will write a strong beginning for my story. All right, little happy scholars. So today, your have to is to write 3 sentences for your lead about a story, a brand new story, and drawing a picture to match those words. making sure that you add words to your pictures, right? Those are those labels. I'm going to be looking to see if you have those labels on your pictures. I hope that you've enjoyed writing as much as I have. I will see you tomorrow for day 55 of writing. Happy writing, little writer. Bye.